From the harsh winds last week, we have now moved back into the cold stillness of winter. But I don't really want to dwell on that, so let's just start this video. You know what? This looks really beautiful. I'm not real sure how the sunset is going to be, but we have this small little opening in the bottom of the clouds just where it meets the horizon, so it could be absolutely magical. But first, finding a composition. I have to tread really careful here because we have fresh snow lying upon the rocks, and if I walk too far I'm gonna spoil my own composition. So I have to be really careful and really look hard before I walk too far. What I want from the composition is something to lead the viewer out over the lake and out onto the sunset itself. I'm not gonna get it perfect because the sun is setting too much to the west for this location. This location is really more of, well, completely south, to be honest. But I could perhaps find some kind of element that is going to work in my favor. So that's really what I'm looking for at the moment. I found this small little strip of heather that I'm gonna use here in the foreground. And basically, it's gonna act almost like a catalyst into the foreground, middle ground, and then the background and the sky. So I think that's gonna work real well. I'm gonna find the perfect angle for it, and then I'm gonna have to start to photograph at once. So what I've done now is that I put the heather in the bottom right part of the image, and I have a rock formation starting to come out from the bottom left part. Everything else is just kind of being as it is. Not too much special with it. What I'm really hoping for is for the sky to explode and for the sky to be the main element of this image. Most of the color in the sky is gone. I can see we have a pillar of light where the sun is setting. But from my experience, that does not bode well for the rest of the sunset. So what I think I'm gonna do instead is to put on a 10-stop filter and really try to streak out the clouds instead. I decided to go with a 4-stop filter instead because the light levels are dropping quite low. With a 4-stop filter I'm getting 30 seconds exposures right now. Can't push down the ISO. I can extend it lower. Now I'm trying at low 1, so that should equal ISO 50. 1 minute exposure. And now we wait for it. Well, 1 minute was a little bit dark. Increasing is 2 minutes. I guess that the further we get into the blue hour now, the longer I'm gonna get the shutter speed to run. The question is whether I'm too late or not. There's coming a cloud here which doesn't have as much contrast in it. So it might be that I'm too late for using a long exposure really. Which would be a little bit sad, but that's the reality. Starting to get quite cold, so I'm gonna have to start to think about going back really soon. the long exposures didn't work out. But I think one of the earlier actually did. Well, actually it didn't. Sometimes the final piece is just missing, and this is one of those times. So this image simply wasn't good enough. I guess you know by now. I don't want to drag this out longer than I have to. So I'm just gonna say thank you all for watching. If you like this, leave a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.